Then. All right. Corona Days Professional Development Group. It's me, Jeanette Edwards, and I am here with Daryl D.A. Arnold. It says we are live. You know, I never believe it. I'm just going to go in the room for a minute and check it out. It says we're live, so I guess I should believe that we're live. I hope it's recording. I don't have a button to record. Y'all know, this is new. This is new. I see that someone add to stream. Oh, no, no, I didn't mean to do that. Remove from stream. Someone named Brittany is in here. I don't know if she can see us.
Yeah, that's my fiance. She just looking.
Oh, can she see us?
Yeah,
she can see us. You can hear us. All right. Thank you for being patient with me, Brittany. I'm learning this one. I learned Zoom. It took me about 6 months to learn Zoom. All right, now here we go. All right, so Happy New Year, Corona Days Professional Development Group. I'm really excited to host Daryl D.A. Arnold. Remember, I told you about this young man yesterday. I told you we had a great conversation. He has just phenomenal energy, and I just love where he's coming from. I'm going to tell you his bio, but I'm also going to say that, Mr. Arnold, you are our first presentation for 2021. So you starting this off with a bang. And this is something. Our first presentation for 2020 was a black man, a young black man who was doing his thing. And now we have another one kicking us off for 2021, a young black man doing his thing. So I'm going to give you guys a little information about today's presentation. So today, there's an echo in my mic. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it, guys. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. I turned the echo all the way down. All right. All right. So here we go. So today, Daryl Arnold is going to talk to us about the power of you. He's going to tell us about understanding clarity. A couple questions that he's posed for us. Have you been neglecting yourself? And how can you change those habits? So a little information about Daryl D.A. Arnold. He's a young vessel being used to help others from a small place on the map called Mississippi. He helps people understand their purpose and teaches financial education. This is a calling to help others like others helped him. He thrives seeing others win. And again, I told you guys yesterday, I just loved his energy. I really enjoyed chatting with him, and I invited him to come on. I'm going to mute myself. I am going to close my camera, and I'm going to look for questions and comments and give them to DA in the chat, because I'm not sure if people registered so we can see their comments. All right. All right. I'm turning it over to you, Mr. Arnold.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great season. Happy New Year's to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today. I just want to say, hey, I'm just happy. I'm thrilled to be here. Just being here is exciting in itself. So today I just wanted to share with you some things that I've crossed in my path of understanding myself. And that's just the power that I have inside of us. And we all have the power inside of us. And sometimes we don't know that we have this power. And why we don't believe we have this power? Because society and other people always have things to say, and we don't have enough positivity in the world. So I'm here to just share some light and share some wisdom about what I've been learning through these years as I just turned 32 around this in this world. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna just share my screen with my PowerPoint presentation that I have for you guys. Go. So, as I decided, I just had to just go ahead and say the power of you. So, the power of you is by me, Daryl Arnold Jr., which is a motivational speaker as well as a financial professional. But I'm not talking about money today. I'm talking about you. I want to empower you. All right, empower what you come from. Empower what you already have inside you. So, first things first, you have all the tools that you need. All right. If you have a brain that works and it functions, you can do this. All right. The brain can do whatever you want, but do you believe in yourself? What I mean by believing in yourself, I'm talking about actually believing in that gift that God has given you, those things that you already do, and people already give you, some great information about us, some feedback like, man, you're great at writing. Why did you do this and then the third? Are you great at painting? Are you great at photographer or whatever the case may be? But do you really believe in yourself? Or do you believe in it's not enough, it's not going to get me nowhere, and nothing like that? If you have those negative connotations in your mind all the time, then that means that you really don't believe in yourself. And then you're not using that brain that you need to work and function. All right, so you have all the tools that you need to be the power that you need. All right, all the power is all inside of you. Secondly, you got to understand and value, what do you want out of this life? All right, what do you want out of life? So, as I see right here, I said, do not be like the child that does something and don't know why. So, what do I mean by that? A lot of times when we're talking about somebody, when we're looking at kids or something, you ask them like, why do you do that? I don't know. They just say, I don't know. They just shrug their shoulders and they don't say, I don't know. I remember I used to do it. They used to ask me certain things, what I used to do. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I did it. But now, as I'm an adult, why don't we think about, like, what do we really want out of life? All right. We got all this space. We have this whole world that God has given us, and the entities or whatever deity that you believe in, all this is ours. But you don't even know what you want. So in return, you just get content. All right. And so when you get content, you pretty much just get whatever you want, whatever you get. So you just like, you happy for whatever you get. But no, you can have more. It's a whole world out here. You can have all this. You can have the big house. You can have the big cars and everything. But what do you really want? So when I say know exactly what you want, I'm talking about being very discreet, being very detailed about what do you want. All right. If you want a new house, or if you want some more money in your bank account, how much is it? Do it want to be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $100,000, $1 million, whatever it is? Write it down. Speak about it. Know exactly what you want. If you want a better life, exactly what does that better life entails? All right. Does that mean it's a better job? Do you become an entrepreneur? If you're an entrepreneur, does it make it mean that you're a bigger person? All right. Do you want to be you on TV? What do you want? All right. And once you realize what you really want, I want you to start imagining. I want you to go on vacation with your mind. All right. Go on vacation. Imagine you being valued. All right. What do you want out of life? I want you to imagine what you want out of this life. And secondly, after you imagine it, I want you to start visualizing it. I'm talking about visualizing yourself wherever you want to go. Like you on vacation, all right, and you seeing different things. When you go on vacation, what do you do? All right, you in a state of mode like, hey, I got to see whatever it is to offer. When you get a massage, what do you do? What type of music do they play? They play relaxing music, and you don't remember or you don't care about nothing in the world. All you know is that you visualizing relaxation. Same thing. I want you to start visualizing yourself, all right, on that beach, visualizing that new life that you want. Now, last but not least, I want you to write it down and repeat it at least 2 times a day, morning and night. All right, morning and night, writing it down. Only 20% of people write down their goals and actually read them. All right, now that's why a lot of people don't even know. So think about this. You have over 60,000 thoughts a day. All right, if you have 60,000 thoughts a day and you cannot pinpoint the ones that you really want to do, then why not write them down so you can be like, okay, yeah, this is the one I want to remember, this is the one I want to focus on, and this is the one I really want to get to. So if you can actually write down what you really want, and then you can start looking at it and you can write it out and read it, now you're helping out your subconscious and your conscious, and you already feeling like you already there. You're in your present time instead of always going back to your past time, which is always comfortable. Now you're getting out of the comfort zone, and now you're getting into the future. All right. Now, imagination. Oh. Neglecting self. All right. Neglecting self. How do you wake up? This is very important. When you wake up in the morning, do you just look at your phone and see what time it is? And do you always rambling about, oh, I got to get to work. All right, I got the kids. I got to do this. I got to do that. You overwhelming your brain already. And guess what? You are telling your brain, like, hey, I do not matter. All right. Everything else becomes before me. When I get on Facebook or social media, guess what? All those people's opinions come before mine. It becomes before my peace of mind, because I told myself that I got to wake up in the morning and got to give them, I got to look at somebody else and look at their thoughts. I got to see what's going on. I got to see the current news. Why don't you not reflect on yourself, being peace and quiet, so you can reflect on what you want to do? All right, visualizing yourself on that beach, or visualizing what your life wanted to be. All right, visualizing yourself to being the best person that you can be. All right, when you're talking about some of the best leaders in this world, all right, when it comes to leadership, they led themselves. They didn't be around people that are, they wake up and, oh yeah, I got to do this and then the third. No, they have to be calm. All right, they got to be peace. They got to be peace within, so they can give it out to the next person once they give it out. All right, when do you give yourself affirmations? All right, when you wake up in the morning, if you don't do that, then when you're going through your day, do you give yourself affirmations? Do you have them written around on your apartment building or wherever the case may be? All right. You got to have affirmations that you say, I am. Anything that you say, I am, and you say after that, that's what you are. So when you say, I am, say, I am powerful. I am love. I am whatever you are desiring. All right. So I say, I am. You can see and you can hear the confidence, because I do this affirmations every morning. I got to speak. All right. Now I want you to understand and value what I'm talking about here. All right. How do you talk to yourself when you make a mistake? Ooh. A lot of times when we make a mistake, I know in my, when I used to make mistakes, I always used to go back. Oh man, and it keeps on lingering. But once I started playing basketball, because I did play basketball back in my day, I still play basketball to this day. All right. So with that being said, I cannot let one mistake linger on, because it's the next step. All right, if I turn the ball over, I got to go back on defense and go try to block the shot or get the ball back. All right, same thing with us. We got to start putting that same thing into our minds. All right, we make a mistake, it's okay. All right, we human. You're going to make mistakes. Oh man, you messed up and ordered the wrong thing. You put something on whatever, on your different card or whatever the case may be. You probably overdrafted or something. It's okay. All right, you gotta just breathe. So I want you to start breathing. All right. When something happens to you or you make a mistake, just breathe one time. Just take a deep breath. Let it out slow and just say, I'm okay. I made a mistake. Don't let it just keep on lingering. And last but not least, what do you do before you go to bed? Don't you know the last 15 minutes of your day, all right, before you close your eyes, is the most important? So that means that if you just go into bed and you pretty much, had you just looked at a bad movie or something like that, or whatever the case may be, that's in your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is asleep with you, so you don't know what's going on. All right, so while you sleep, all it knows is what you just watched. All right, it doesn't know anything else. All right, or what you just saw on your phone or something like that. So what if you had read your goals at night? All right, and now you seeing it, and now you visualize it while you're asleep. All right, so that's what I want you to understand. What do you do before bed? When you relaxing, you're like, okay, let me relax myself before I go to bed. Let me write down what I want to do tomorrow. All right, program for tomorrow, so I know I'm excited for tomorrow. Like before I started this, I was excited last night. I was excited as soon as she told me that I was going to speak. I was like, oh, you sure? I was envisioning. I was imagining that I'm doing this already. So quit neglecting yourself, all right? Next thing, imagination. All right. Whew. I know society has really did a number on us, and we was little kids before, and we kind of just got robbed of our imagination. All right, society, some things or whatever the case may be. But if we don't have no imagination, what are we giving to the next generation of imagination? All right, what are they going to do? What are the kids going to do if they don't have imagination? All right. You remember when you was a kid and you picked up a stick and you thought that was a sword or something, and you were just like going at it with your friend or something, whatever the case may be, or you was playing with rocks or whatever the case may be, but you was imagining something that wasn't there. All right. But now since you're an adult and you got bills and you got a job or whatever, all right, you forgot how to imagine. How can you create a better life without imagining how it looks first? All right, so that means that you got to start sitting down with yourself, all right, and taking your mind on a vacation every day. Okay, when you go on a vacation, you know what to do. You going to party, you going to hang out, you going to do whatever that city got to do. All right, if I'm going to New Orleans, which is one of my favorite spots, I know where I'm going. All right, I'm going to New Orleans to go get some seafood if I was still eating meat. But I'll be going down for seafood. I'm going to the zoo. I'm doing this and that. I'm going wherever. All right, I'm going to Bourbon Street. That's where my location is at because I know I'm going to have fun there because I already envisioned it and I already been there. So if you already been somewhere in your mind, guess what? Your mind don't know the difference between if you're really there or not. So that means that's when you can start imagining and you can already get there. So if you want something, you got to already imagine that it's there. All right. Creation. Woo. You was made to create. We were made from creation. This world is all about creating. Think about it. When your parents made you, guess what they did? They had what you call sex. All right. Called sex, which manifested into making a baby. So they created their combustion energy from both parents. Boom, created a baby. All right, you look at the trees, or if you look at all the things that's around here, they create. All right, they manifest, they create, and we still create every day. You're creating right now as you listening to me speak because you're creating a thought, and that creation of that thought is actually electricity in your mind, and that mind and also can electricity through your body. So you got all this electricity going on through your body right now because you're creating. We was made out of creation, but it's all about your frequency though, because you know that you can create. So you create every time that you speak, every time that you listen. Create a new life. All right. So you are the author of your life. Don't be an extra in your own movie. This is your movie. You can create. Where you staying at right now, if you live in an apartment or a house, guess what you did? You decided that, hey, this is where I'm going to live. Now, if you feel like, oh, I didn't have no choice, think about it like this. Okay, you wrote your name on that lease, or you wrote your name on whatever the case may be, or where you at right now. But you can go anywhere that you want in the world. All right, it's all about creation. Stop limiting your thought process because you can create anything that you have. Think about this. All right, it took Thomas Edison 10,000 times to create the light. All right, the light bulb. 10,000 times. That's a long time. But he actually created. He stuck with it. He had a desire because he knew that he wanted to create it. Think about the radio waves. All right, that started on the TV or whatever the case may be. All right, radio waves, to get the waves that, hey, I don't have to always write a letter or something, that no, I am going to have a vibration that you can hear me just like you can hear me right now as I speak to the next generation, to the next place, all right, from point A to point B. So you can create. Stop limiting yourself. You can create. You're made out of creation, all right? You are a creator, all right? I am a creator. Say that. Speak that. That is your language, all right? Faith. You believe in a higher power that is all-knowing and powerful, which you were made in that image. All right, let me say that again. You believe in a higher power. So that means that you believe in a God or any deity that is all-knowing and all-powerful, which you are made in that image. If you're made in that image, that means that you have everything that you need inside of you, but you don't have the faith in it. So why not have the faith to believe whatever you want and desire is already there for you? All right? Let your faith be bigger than your fear. What do I mean by that? So when you going to work, when you first started getting your job and you have what you call you getting your first paycheck, all right? You got a direct deposit paycheck. Okay, you've been there for 2 weeks. All right, you've been working for 2 weeks now. You know that you about to get paid. You already have it in your head set up. Oh yeah, I'm finna get this and that. Yeah, I can pay this bill with this and that and the third. You already got faith in that you gonna get paid on that Thursday or that Friday or whatever whenever you get paid. So why don't you have that same faith when it comes to your life and how you can build a better life for yourself? Why don't you have that same faith? What's stopping you? What's stopping you from having that same faith that you had when, oh yeah, I'm getting paid right here? Then you can say, hey, I'm about to get out of this situation that I'm in right now. All right, I'm about to get out of this and I'm about to go to a whole nother field. Nobody cannot understand or value. Nobody cannot put me down. All right, I have this faith and it's bigger than me. All right, I know I got something about it. I know I got somebody in front of me. I know this is here for me. All right, I know I'm about to have this big house. I know I'm about to have the best life of my best year of my life this year, 2021, because I have the faith, I have the abundant spirit, and I have God on my side. So what is against me? All right, the people that don't believe me, I don't care, because I have faith that I'm going to somewhere that's bigger and better than anybody that can ever imagine, because I already see it, I already vision it. I already saw it. All right. I looked at myself and I closed my eyes every day and I started meditating. I don't look at my phone when I first wake up. I start speaking into my existence. I start speaking to myself. So ain't nobody gonna stop me from where I'm going. All right. So that's the faith that you gotta have. Now, self-discipline. All right. Self-discipline is the ability to control one's feelings and overcomes one's weakness. The ability to pursue what one think is right, despite temptation to abandon it. So when I'm talking about self-discipline, that means that you got to have the ability to control your feelings, all right, or to overcome some of those weaknesses that you have. So you can have the ability to pursue whatever you want, all right. So this is what you need to have. You got to have self-discipline. So when somebody say that you can't do it or whatnot, or you get shut down, or something happened, that you got to self-discipline. Hey, all right, I'm good. I'm gonna be self-disciplined. All right, I'm gonna start waking up. All right, I'm gonna start giving me my time. Okay, at nighttime, I'm gonna give myself some more time. All right, I'm going to pursue everything that I need. All right, I'm gonna have the self-discipline to sit down and be quiet. All right, I'm gonna have the self-discipline to start breathing when I make a mistake. I'm gonna have the self-discipline so when I need something, if I want something, I'm gonna go get it. All right. Whew. With that being said, the process is more rewarding than the temporary defeats that you will face. So you will have some defeats. It's okay. But you got to stay with it every day. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new day in a chapter that you're just starting and you just riding away. All right. So you got to have the self-discipline to get there. All right. Knowing thyself. We say this a lot. All right. We say know thyself. But what does know thyself mean? All right. I'm not talking about knowing our history of how we got here and some of the things that the government has done to, hinder us or whatnot. No, I'm talking about knowing you personally. All right. Sit down with yourself. Know exactly what do you want. All right. It's knowing exactly who you are. Why do you feel this way when you're talking about emotions? All right. Do you really know yourself? All right. What I'm talking about when I say, do you really know yourself? I'm talking about when you sit down with yourself in a quiet place. All right. What are the first emotions that come to your mind? All right. Why does those emotions come to mind? When you feel inadequate or you feel sad or whatever the case may be, why do you feel sad? All right. Why do you feel mad all the time? Is it the music that you're listening to? All right. Is it some childhood traumas that you went through and you never forgave people? Or you live in a environment that you feel like you're sheltered. I mean, you feel like you cannot really reach that next potential, so you always fighting and you feel like you can't trust nobody. What are those emotions that you got to sit in? Because the only way you're gonna change is you know that you can you consciously know, like, okay, yeah, this is why this is what's holding me back, because I don't believe in people, I don't trust people. All right, so if you don't trust nobody, if you don't know that within yourself, then how can you say you want other things? All right, if you want something, that means that you got to know yourself deep down. I'm talking about the ingrained of you. All right, I'm talking about everything. You got to really know yourself exactly what do you play. All right, what are all these emotions that's come into your play? Because emotion is always about the outcomes that happen in a particular event. So what are those emotions? All right, how can you dig deep and say, hey, I need to let go of some of these stuff. All right, on December 20th, 21st, I actually went outside and I wrote down everything that I wanted to let go, and I burned it on a piece of paper and I gave it to the universe. All right, that's what I did for myself. So that's how you got to know thyself. So that's what I'm talking about. You really got to start talking to yourself and say, hey, I want to let everything go. I want peace and love, and I want that light to come inside me so I can give it to other people. All right. Clarity. Last but not least, you got to have clarity. The quality of being easy to see or hear, sharpness of imagine or sound. So what I gave to you was clarity about how you can really start visualizing, actually going to that next level in your life, and you can have the clarity because you are unblocking all those distractions, so you can really get to what focus on what you want to do, how you want to do it, and really get to that next level in your life. All right. So this is what I wanted to do. This is my intent. So hopefully I accomplished that. All right. And last but not least, I want to show y'all the emotion frequencies. Why did I want to show y'all this? Because the lower the frequency you're in, the lower that your mind may be in. So, all right, as you can see on the graph right here, you see shame, guilt, empathy, grief, fear. All right, desire, anger, pride. So you got to let go of that ego. You got to let go of that guilt that you have from some of those past mistakes that you may have. All right, that shame or that that fear of like, oh, I can't do this. Why? No, that ain't for me. All right, but God has given you a gift, and it's supposed to be here to give it to the next person, the next generation. All right, so you got to know what your gift is. You got to sit down and be clear with yourself and have clarity in what you want to do and how you want to do it. So, all right.
1 minute, Daryl, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
We can't see that slide. Go back to the front. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
One more. It's on clarity. Go to the yes. Okay. Oh, there it is. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, as you can see, the lower frequencies, you want to stay away from that. But how do you get away from those low barrier frequencies? Getting away from that emotions. All right, so that means that you got to start programming your mind to like, hey, I'm joyous. I know that we live in a society that you supposedly not be joyous or happy unless something magically happens to you. But no, look around. All right, you're alive. All right, you have hopefully you have all your you have your arms, your legs, and everything else. You can procreate if you will. All right, you have your eyesight. You can hear, you can listen, you can speak. All right, you can make, you can write. So you have so many things in your things that you need to be really thankful for, that you don't need to be worried about the negatives, and you got to take away from that anger and that pride and your ego, because the ego is always in the rear, and you always going to have that voice in your head that's always going to say, yeah, we can do this tomorrow, yeah, we can do this forever, or whatever the case may be. But no, we want to get you to that joy, peace, love, all right, high frequency. So you got to start paying attention to how you wake up in the morning, especially when you wake up at night, the music that you may be listening to, some of the television shows or the news or whatever the case may be. So you don't always be frightened and always be in that state of alarming state. All right. So we want you to get to that next level so you can really get in an enlightenment level. Because if you know anything about Gandhi and all those big people like that, they were just all enlightened because they had a high frequency, because they always felt love. They knew about who they was inside. They got rid of all those, all the egos and everything, so they can mash away, so they can really focus on to really get to that next level in life. So that's all I have for you today, guys.
Let me start my camera. Hello?
So yeah, that's everything I have for y'all today, guys. I definitely just love to, I wanted to be short and sweet. If y'all have any questions, anything, I will definitely answer. But yeah, I love to break things down like that because yeah.
I love your energy. I love your energy. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because they told me I had an echo, so I got these things out. All right. So of course I have one question. So thank you so much for enlightening us today, Daryl. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead with my first question, and I'm gonna look into the chat on Facebook and see if we have any more questions. So, Daryl, CDPD's mission is to increase marginalized and BIPOC groups' access to employment opportunities and representation in the workforce by providing our members with free training, mentorship, and other resources. So, I created CDPD in response to record unemployment and underemployment rates stemming from COVID-19. So, let's talk about marginalization. Um, would you say that you've ever been marginalized? And if so, can you share an experience with us?
Well, I'm from Mississippi, so that should say it already. So I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, one of the Union states. We still at the lower end. I only think we had $6 yet. You know, so yeah, I'm from Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. One of those states that they kind of say that that's negative or whatever. But I love my state. I love Mississippi because that's where all these Mississippi freedom fighter writers, Addie B. Wells, so many great people that came from that lineage from Mississippi. So I am one of those ancestors that they just fall all in line me. So yeah, I've been marginalized because I'm black. Of course, like I said, I came from struggle or came from a middle class background. But I realized once I got out of my mind and got out of that state of like I can't, I won't, or whatever the case may be. You're talking to somebody that actually just went overseas or playing basketball just off a wheel. I didn't even write no goals down until I started learning about, hey, all right, until I started teaching about financial education. You're talking about somebody that just did it off pure will and just off talent. I didn't really have no vision board or I didn't have this type of knowledge that I have now, but I always had somebody or something always over me to give me some guidance. But this is just me just growing and getting into that energy that I was always in. So yeah, getting into within. So yeah.
All right now. So I asked the question, and I see someone says, "Oh wow, Mississippi! I see the greatness in you." Yes, I saw it from our first meeting. The greatness in Daryl. And guys, I was sidebar. So I was connected to Daryl by Mike Potterano. So you guys know how we love Mike Potterano, and he always connects us with winners. Always, he just always connects us with winners. So I asked the marginalization question, Daryl, not so we could harp on, oh, woe is me, but so that people can see, when they see this presentation and they are seeing it, whether they watch it now or on a replay, and hundreds of people, maybe even thousands, will see this. If they are sitting in a space or a place right now and feeling marginalized, I want them to know that, yeah, many of us have felt marginalized, maybe even currently marginalized, but in spite of marginalization, we still have success. We can still power through it and we can still achieve greatness because greatness is within all of us. So that's why I asked the question.
Yes, because think about all our ancestors from Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and all that lineage of 1960s and all the way till today. A lot of us, we talk about pro athletes, entertainment, and all that. They had to overcome being black. They had to overcome coming from small cities and small states. So it doesn't matter where you're coming from. It's all about your mindset of being around positive people and knowing that, like, hey, you are a star, because we all have something inside of us. It's just really getting in tune into ourselves, because love is love is life. So
love is love is life. All right, I love it. Okay, I have a question from the audience. How long have you been reading your affirmations and practicing your consciousness?
Whew, I would say I've been doing it um, for some years now. I've been doing affirmations for some years. Uh, didn't
What's
know,
some years?
yeah, a couple
That's
of
some
years.
years.
I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I always used to
Mhm.
always give myself positive notes
Okay.
about myself. But then once I started realizing, like, hey, I got to start doing this more, then I really got to shift into. I was like, okay, all right, because some of the past experience that happened when I was younger. My mom passed away, grandmas, and I done had a lot of death in my family, and different obstacles I had to face. And basketball was my only let out. But once I realized that basketball is just not the only thing that I can let go of or have to, then I had to realize, okay, I got to start letting and displaying this emotion. So yeah.
All right. And then I had another one. Are you part of any mentorship programs for the youth, or have you thought of starting one?
It is all in the work because I definitely have a 10-year plan. In the next 10 years,
Mhm.
I definitely want to have something for all kids all across the United States. So we can have somewhere that they can safe spot for teenagers mostly, so they can have a safe spot to hang out, actually learn how to cook, culinary, learn how to
Ah,
learn how to play sports if they want to get into sports like chess clubs or even debate class and stuff like that. So I have a vision of already in my head what I want to do, and actually get into that mentorship so I can really give this knowledge out to all the youth.
all right. Uh, what can we do to help the future generation? They seem to be so lost.
The youth is us.
Mm,
So
yeah.
if you can help yourself out, and
Mhm.
then
Mm,
you can help one person out, and
yeah.
guess what that is? That's a circle. That's a circle of life. So all you gotta do is help yourself out, and then the people that you need to be helped out, or the people that's going to gravitate to you, going to already automatically gravitate to you. Because I mean, look at us. I mean, I didn't even know you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you, but with Michael and just the
Mhm.
attraction of the energy that I bring off, I brought off the you. So
Yeah.
it's all about the attraction of energy, and we know that everything is about energy and vibration. So if you have a
Mhm.
high frequency, then the people that you need to be helping are going to listen, and they're going to value what you're saying.
Yeah, this is true. I believe that. Saeed, we can't hear you. So if you please type your comment or question and I'll read it to Daryl. Interesting you say that about, so I like Most Def. I used to. Like Most Def. I used to love his music. And he hasn't made any in some years. But he has a song where he says, in the song, he says, people want to know why hip hop is so effed up. He said, look at us. You know, as long as we effed up, hip hop is going to be effed up. So until we start building into ourselves and we're better, then hip hop will be better. And he's saying it in the song, but he says a bunch of things like people are robbing, people are this, people are that. But that's hip hop, and so we get better, then it'll be better. But we have to become better first. So I definitely believe that we are exactly what we put out there. The world is exactly what we put out there. You know, so, how do you manage rejection? Says Saeed.
I don't really don't. I mean, rejection is just a part of life. I mean, that's just a lesson learned. I mean, I played basketball, so when I used to play basketball, I mean, I missed a lot of shots, but I had to keep shooting. So I mean, the same thing. So you got to kind of, all right, it's okay. I mean, there's some people that I want to talk to about financial education. They were like, nah, I'm cool. Okay, all right, well, that's you.
Yeah.
I got to move to the next person because somebody else needs to hear me. I mean, think about it like this. All right, I look at it like this. It's what I don't know, 5 billion people on this in the United States. So
Hmm.
if one person don't,
Somebody else out there.
somebody else will. So
Yeah. All right. Your morals are so genuine and refreshing. You are most definitely changing lives. Do you recommend reading any specific literature? Anything you suggest that our viewers read?
well, right now I'm actually reading. I have like 8 books that I'm going to read this year, and the
Okay.
first one, well, the one I'm reading right now is Think and Grow Rich.
Um,
After that, I will be reading. the power of now. So yeah, I'm on a journey as well because this doesn't stop because every time you learn something new, you're making a new creation. I mean, new creation in your mind. And yeah, so I'm all about learning and enlightening myself. I'm never going to stop learning. So until I'm in the grave. So yeah.
Yeah. That's I think sometimes that's what keeps people here is learning. We learn new things. There's always something else to look forward to. Life does not become monotonous. There's always something out there if we keep ourselves open to it. Um Sai says good strategy. You learn a lot. I didn't play because I have no rhythm and no rhythm to bounce a ball or any of that. I think the only thing I played was volleyball and kickball, and only but I could play those, but come on, it's kickball. Although we have a couple of kickball leagues here in the DMV area. Uh, but I think that you learn so much by playing team sports. You learn so much about yourself. You learn so much about other people, about life, many life lessons that you can carry into. You just walk with them, and they're going to take you far. The lessons that you can learn from organized sports.
Definitely. It's so many. I mean, you got to learn teamwork. You got to learn how to, go through adversity because, I mean, all your teammates not going to think like you. And some of them may be jacking up some shots or whatever the case may be. I'm like, okay, I got to learn how to strategize this. You got to learn how to deal with the coach. You got to learn how to deal with different personalities. Same thing with life. You got to learn how to deal with different personalities. Because, I mean, everybody's not going to be as genuine or love like you or how you supposed to feel. So you can't be like, oh. So that's one thing I definitely have learned from basketball. Another one is just how to just be yourself in a team because you got to bring your own spirit, your own game. You can't just bring something else. Now you got to bring what you bring, and you got to know exactly what you do. So you got to pinpoint what you're doing, just like coaching. You got to know that's what coaches do. They kind of pinpoint what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and kind of eliminate to get you away. So hey, all right, we're not going to get you to see your your weaknesses, but we want to get you to understanding your strengths.
Yeah. Okay, we have another one. How can we encourage each other as minorities to support and pour into our own communities more?
So when you're talking about your community, you got to have a foundation. So the community has to have a foundation. So the foundation got to be you. So if you can work on yourself, and then like-minded people, you got to have like-minded people. All right. Now, does it not mean that y'all agree on everything? It just means that y'all like-minded. Because I think now we live in this society that we believe that you gotta believe everything that I believe in, or you gotta have the same values. No, it doesn't have to work like that. We just gotta know how to talk to each other with communication. And communication skills are different for everybody, but we gotta all know how to have a sit down, how to talk to each other, and we can really just encourage each other. So with that being said, I would just say how to speak to each other. I mean, hey, how you doing? Very simple. How to speak to somebody. You having a good day? Because, I mean, that goes a long way, just speaking to somebody. Man, you doing all right today? Man. And somebody saying, man, it's crazy, man. I can't. Well, yeah, it is. But, we got a new day, bro. I'm glad that you living. I'm glad you living this. I'm happy to see you growing. I'm happy to see you here. You made it this far. So, I mean, that's how you talk to somebody. You talk to somebody like that. They have no reason to, give you anything else, then love back. But if they don't, then, hey, that's on them.
Yeah.
So I mean, just give what you can give, and don't go over and exert your energy, because your energy is precious. So just give what you can give. You can just say, "Hey, how you doing?" Or you can say, "Hey, I know somebody that knows are an expert in this. So hey, let's sit down with him and let's see what he's talking about, or let's see what she's talking about." And guess what? You're making a network in your own community, and that's how you get that going.
All right, now, Facebook user says, Daryl, I really appreciate you, and I'm so glad I was here for this. All right, so I'm going to go to my next question, guys. My second question. So you just had a birthday. I don't know how old you are, but you're not that old, okay? But if you can go back to a younger Daryl and knowing everything that you know now and tap yourself on the shoulder, what advice would you give that younger Daryl?
I would give my younger self keep learning and be more open. And what I mean by open is open to new opportunities and open to new new things that you may not understand at this particular time. Because I know back then I was just like, man, what? I was young, so but I realized that but yeah, I would really tell myself just be more open and then be more vulnerable to my with my emotions and actually harness what I already have inside me, is which speaking, because this is something that I always had, but I never had tapped into it. So I would have really definitely tapped into this earlier. So yeah.
All right. Okay, we have another question from our audience. Please give me your take on colorism in our community, especially being from the South. These are part of the uncomfortable conversations we have to have.
Oh, colorism. So when you're talking about colorism, I mean it's very layered, because we talking about if you're talking about women, men, or what exactly are you talking about? Because I mean we could talk about how women look at themselves differently because of colorism, or if we're talking about how men, because of the media, the mainstream media, how we kind of pinpoint and just say black. I mean, you're light skin, dark skin, and we have social media that we have the memes and all that. So it really layers. It's a lot of layers to it. But I would just say that with colorism, I feel like we just gotta get to the point to say, hey, black is beautiful. I mean, from light, dark, brown, whatever, whatever the case may be. Because I mean, at the end of the day, would you get pulled over by the police or whatever the case may be, you're black. So,
yep, it's true. I mean, across the whole black spectrum, they say, yeah. All right, so guys, this is my last question. So I'm loving this StreamYard. I'm learning it. All my comments are coming from Facebook. I don't have to keep toggling back between the phone. All right, I'm going to work on the graphics and make it look pretty, and we're going to be going for 2021. All right. So my final question, and thank you. I appreciate you for coming and sharing with us. I really, really do, because you don't have to do this. I don't pay anybody. So I really appreciate you for blessing us today, Daryl. So my final question is, considering everything we discussed today and what you share with us, if we could only walk away, if we only have one takeaway, what would you want us to walk away with today about the power of you?
Self-love. Because if you love yourself, then you will create love, and then you will bring love to you.
Let me write that down. You will create love, and you will bring love to you. I'm gonna quote you, right? I'm in about 5 minutes after this broadcast, and you will bring love to you. I love it. One more thing I'll tell you. You said you didn't realize, like you got so far on sheer will, without doing the work. And I had a similar experience where I, at some point, probably in my mid-30s, I'm 46, probably in my mid-30s, I said, wait a minute, Danette. Everything you said you were going to do, you did, right? You just did it. And you got this far. You got, accolades professionally and in school and all this stuff, despite all kinds of obstacles, because I don't even have a traditional high school diploma. I have a GED, okay? And I was like, but what if I did? Yeah, I was in my early 30s, because that's when The Secret came out. Secret came out when I was 33. That's when that was all over Oprah. Everybody's talking about The Secret, And I said, well, what if I did start, speaking? And I was an avid watcher of. I was living in Atlanta. You get hyped up on the Lord when you're living in the South. I was avid. I was big time in the TD Jakes and Joyce Meyer. Okay, but I needed them. It's a time when you need certain things, and I didn't really needed them. My father had just died, and the secret came out, and they were talking about, what we speak into our lives, and what we focus on, what we put our thoughts on. And I began to do the work hot and heavy for about a year, and then I fell off for a while. And but what always brings me back is I'm a writer, I'm not like a writer. I just write what I think like I'll just write over my life, and then it manifests. And so I could go to a journal from that would be 2005, and I could look in that journal, and I still have I have journals all over the place. Never finished writing in one, so I just pick up another one and start writing. I could look back into the journal and say, "Oh wow, did I say I was going to do that? Oh, I did that." Like it happened, and that happening enough said to me, "You know what? You need to keep doing the work. You need to keep speaking what you want into your life, right?" I spoke all kinds of stuff. I spoke my husband in my life, out of my life. I spoke living in Africa. I'm serious. I spoke living in Africa. I went to Africa, fell in love with Africa, and was leaving crying. My third trip, I was crying, and I said, I'm moving here. And that was in June. I moved back on August 24th. Okay. And I said, I'm going to move here. And I realized that every time I set the intention and I spoke it, I wrote it in a journal, and then I actually began to do things to make it happen. So I didn't just say these things and poof, they appeared. But because I gassed myself up, I was my own hype man, right? To say that these things could happen, and I wrote them down, and I read them, and I reread them. I began to take action, and then they begin to happen step by step. So I say to anyone, wherever you are right now, you got there on sheer will. I love that you say that, sheer will, right? Without putting in that kind of self work. And you could get far. You could get really far on that without putting in that self. And I'm not talking about practicing ball or studying, but that inner work. That imagine how much farther you could be if you start doing that inner work. And that's what snapped for me. Is that doing that inner work. And so I do it. I do it now, and I need to do it. I'm more faithful to it now. I fall off every now and again, but I do it, and I understand the power of our thoughts. That our thoughts and our words dictate our actions. And yeah, we could do a whole bunch. So I'm really hopeful that this year is going to be great for all of us. I'm glad that you kicked it off for us today, Daryl. And inner work is everything. Bam, self love, yes. Just reading some of the comments, but you're in our group, so you can read these. And I'll just ask you, anything you want to, any final words?
No, you kind of took it away when you said that, but definitely. I want all y'all to start writing down y'all goals, get some clear goals. I'm talking about clear as day. And I would definitely love to hear of them. Y'all can always reach me. I'm always accessible. I'm not just one of these guys who's like, oh, yeah, I just did my presentation, I'm out. No, I'm going to engage with all y'all. Y'all family to me now. I will call y'all sisters and brothers now, so yeah, it's all love. So yeah, let's definitely engage. I would definitely love to hear from all y'all, give me some feedback. So yeah, also you did tell me to do my YouTube page. So
yes,
I did create it. I did for my birthday. So it is.
Oh, send us the link so we can put it in the group. Send us the link. Yes, and then anyone watching today, Saeed, I know you're catching us on YouTube, and I don't know if you're a member of our group. You can join our group if you like. But if you enjoyed this presentation, just share it. Share it with your network. Share it with a friend who you think would be blessed by it and find value in it. And if you're not a member of CDPD, definitely join our community. And again, Daryl, you're welcome to come back again whenever you'd like. And you are in the group, and you always add content to the group. I appreciate you for that, and I thank you for being here today.
Oh yeah, I got to first of all, we got to give you your kudos though. I definitely got to say thank you for creating this avenue and helping us so many people out through these tough times and helping them out, with people like me and other people across the world. All right, and you really blessed them. So yeah, this is definitely something that you manifested and you brought on to bless others. So I definitely got to give you all the kudos in the world for that. So I just want to say thank you for
You're
allowing me
welcome.
to
Thank
spread
you.
spread some love for a couple of minutes. Thank you.
You're welcome and thank you. All right now. All right. So have a great evening. I appreciate you and you're welcome to come back anytime you like. All right, Daryl.
All right, peace and love.
All right. Take care.